How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, Sally? Oh, yeah, that's right. You want to tangle? Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought. That's what you didn't stand a chance, punk. You did not stand a The hell is a warp scale? What? Well, it's another perfect day on the planet. Unfortunately, we haven't left it yet, but you know what? You don't need to lose hope because we're gonna do it eventually. Just not today, or tomorrow, or next week maybe even. I don't know. Either way, welcome back to Sub... Guys, we've got a lot to cover. We've got a lot to take a look at. We've got flying Seamoths. We've got new equipment, new weapons. We've also got the Gargantuan Leviathan fast in production for you guys to have something enjoyable and see the scale of this creature. I World's asshole is leaking again. I totally, I never get that unless I'm on my main save, or I'm not on my main save. Like, that never happens. That's okay, bud. So, I'm gonna get into a couple things now with you guys. Actually, I have like four. Some about the Arctic biome, then we have the Gargantuan Leviathan, the Warp Cannon, and the Flying Seamoth thingy as well, which I'm going to go into detail with all of you about. Now, what I need to do first off... Okay. What I need to do first off is I need to go to the gun just down somewhere. I need to go to that so I can get something. We need a special something to make this cherry pie. But while we do that, I am going to show you the process of creating the Gargantuan Leviathan and bringing it to life. So here is some concept art right here. What you're looking at right now is a concept of what the Gargantuan Leviathan would have had as features when it was alive. Now, I actually went with number 2 and number 3 as the concept pictures that I really wanted this thing modeled after it. Now, why did I go with concept 2, 3? Because you see 5, 1, 6, 7, and 4 are there as well. I could have chosen those for the face of this creature. Well, I went with 2 and 3. Because I've noticed a considerable trend that large Leviathan-class creatures here on this planet usually have some form of sensory addition to what they currently have. Aside from the Sea Dragon, maybe even the Sea Dragon has it too, because I haven't really looked at that model that much, but the Sea Emperor especially, you see the reminiscence of those tentacles, like tentacle-like things with the bioluminescent peaks and stuff on the end and stuff like that. Like, you see those in the Emperor itself. And actually, I'm pretty sure the Sea Dragon has that same feature as well, or something similar along with bioluminescence. So that's why I went with 2 and 3. I feel like those are the most, I guess, accurate compared to what the normal adaptations and features are of creatures on this planet when they reach a certain size. That's why I went with that. If you don't think I should have gone with that, let me know in the comment section down below. I was kind of on the edge with number 7, but I really wanted to accentuate its face and have more of like a sea serpent type of feel rather than like a sea dragon, for instance, like the Sea Dragon Leviathan. That makes sense. Anyways, that's the idea behind that. And then we got the concept right here of the creature with its face itself on the body. So that's pretty cool, right? You think it's pretty cool? Yeah. Okay. So we looked for a ton of information about this creature to try and bring it back as accurate as we possibly could. However, we have very limited information, so this ultimately comes up to our own interpretation of what we believe this thing would have looked like and what fantasy elements it would have had as well. Now, we had the option to go with number 1, where it had the serpent tail, which was just straight like the Reaper Leviathan, and it would have like the little barbs at the end, you know, stuff like that, kind of like it would have many tentacles as a combination of the two. Or we could have gone with number 2, which was a Sea Emperor, Sea Dragon approach to locomotion, where they would use tentacles to propel themselves through the air rather than a serpent-like tail that was just flat, again, like the Reaper Leviathan. And actually, the first one was also inspired by the Reaper Leviathan because of the way that it has like the jetting fins on the very back of the tail. Number 3 was the just flat out, you know, we're going to go with the eel approach the entire way and not have any weird adaptations in the very back. I do believe we actually went with the very third one, where it was just eel-like all the way through, and that's just how it worked, and it could maneuver its body and different features on its body and fins to move around more or less, because it is a gigantic creature. Now, we also added in the bioluminescent lighting, as you can see, all around its body. The next concept art you will see will not have that, but it will be on the final product of the image. Now, the bioluminescence follows suit with all of the other large creatures in Subnautica, like the Sea Dragon and Reaper Leviathan, again, where they have certain bioluminescent spots. Well, this guy as well, why wouldn't it have bioluminescence? Why wouldn't it? To me, common sense would dictate that a large Leviathan, most large Leviathans on Subnautica's planet have some kind of glowing spots or bioluminescence. So this thing as well would probably have it. So we went ahead and we went with that. Now, as far as the tentacles and the frill that this thing has, we looked at different joining parts through the skeleton. We found little hooks in the ribs, and we found different features, I guess, around it that would kind of point towards a structure like this, but not entirely at the same time. So this is more or less our own. We took this way, we digested it, then we spit it out at you guys and see what you think. But we are going with this idea of the tentacles going around it. And that's, again, to emphasize that these creatures that are very large Leviathans seem to have tentacles of some sort, whether it be the Reefback, which has a ton of tentacles in the bottom, or, again, Sea Dragon, Reaper Leviathan, so on and so forth for the large creatures. So that's the idea behind that. And the final picture that we have, the final picture is this one right here. And you can see it's true full scale. This thing is absolutely gargantuan in every single form of the word. Now, how do we know it's gargantuan? Well, do you see that speck? That's not a speck on your computer monitor. If we zoom in, this is a Seamoth that's been placed there. Now, we're not sure if we want to go with the Seamoth that'll be there or a human. I think a Seamoth is the best bet because it's a little bit bigger and we can see it a little bit easier in comparison to the actual size of the skull. Now, we tried our best to scale it to what it would look like. I sent a lot of reference screenshots to Tapwing and in an attempt, I guess, to really get this creature to its true size. And I mean, the Seamoth itself is basically nothing compared to this guy. It's the human itself is the size of one of these teeth. Like, it's not even, I can't even, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to even think about it. So this project will be done within the next week or two. And then I'm going to be giving it to you guys as like a banner or whatever you want, really. It'll be given to you in all formats that it's going to be available in. And it's just a community project, more or less, that I wanted to pay for the community. And you guys can enjoy it now because no one's ever tried to bring this thing back to life because I guess it's just too much information and research involved. We had an entire team of people actually trying to figure out some different things about this. We still don't understand what's up with the ribs on the side and why it had the little hooks. And if anything would have been attached to those, some kind of muscle mass maybe or something like that. I included a picture here. You guys let me know if you have any idea what these little hooks on the ribs would have been for or what they would have done, because I'm not entirely sure. Now, why are we here of all places? Well, we are here of all places to hunt warpers. We're hunting warpers for a very specific reason. What is that reason, you ask? Well, good sir, I will tell you once we are in our Seamoth and in the ocean. So, I need to get something from warpers. I hear one nearby. Oh, you got away. Oh no, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna stab you. It's gonna happen. So you just hang tight. I'm gonna find you. Don't you worry, I'm gonna get you. Where are they? Mr. Warpers. Oh, I got you. Oh. Yeah, that's right. Oh, come get some. Get some. Yeah. Ow, you don't freaking hit me. You never hit me. Nobody hits me. Yeah, that's right. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing, Sally? Oh, yeah, that's right. You want a tangle? Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought. So, we have obtained warp scales. Now, a warp scale is a resource obtained from warpers that can be used to craft warp batteries. Now, what is a warp battery? A warp battery is an advanced piece of technology within this modification for Subnautica that you can use to teleport you around, I assume, with a special type of cannon. Can you not? Good, sir. Thank you. So I'm going to head back to my base. I'm abandoning my Cyclops because this isn't my single-player save. No way, shape, or form is a single-player. And, uh-oh. So now that we've got the warp scale, we can actually go on down here like so. We can dock in here. I need fluid. Well, good sir, I have a lovely filtered water waiting for me. Not in this room. Definitely not in this room. It's in the other room over there. Ah, crap. It's not even... I didn't even connect these two. That's right, because it wouldn't connect to the thing. But I have lovely filtered water waiting for me just up right here. Let's go in here. We will. There we go. Hey, how you doing? Yeah? Oh, wait. Oh, there we go. All right, yeah. Large filtered water. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. And then it gives us salt as well. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to move to the crafting station, and we actually need to go to electronics. Now, we have the option to make a warp battery. It needs 2 warp scales and a battery. Now, we can make this. Once the warp battery is completely made, we can move down to tools. We have a warp cannon, a tool that allows you to warp 30 meters using warp technology. Now, while I feel like this mod would not play into the lore very well because of the way they create the cannon itself is pretty cool. It has some custom coloring and all that fun stuff, so that's actually pretty nice to see. But, I mean, to get warp technology, you need more than a warp scale. You need to learn. Like, you'd have to scan something inside their creation hub, where they're actually created, right? That's what you would need to do. Now, I've never actually used this cannon, so... Oh, it does. It just warps you around. It uses 4 energy per use. That is so cool. We actually warp around like a warper. We're basically a human warper at this point. I mean, that's pretty cool. Oh, God. It freaking... oh, wait, hang on. Can I, like, keep going up in the sky? Wow, I can, too. Look at that. That's kind of cool. Now, I'll leave links in the description of the video for you guys to get this mod if you want to put it into your single player or, I guess, whatever game and you know, use it. I don't know if I'd recommend it, to be honest with you, because, I mean, it's not part of the base game itself. But while it's not part of the base game, that doesn't make it a bad thing. It's just more or less this mod might possibly break your game in the future. We don't know. I mean, it's a mod. Mods are only coming out for Subnautica, and like they're very new and in very early phases of testing and stuff. Like, while I think this is really cool, I don't know how I feel about this mod in particular, I guess. It uses mechanics, basically. Like, the mods that I use, you know, decrease the saturation a little bit. Like, if I use oh, no, not that one. If I use F10, I disable my shader, and it makes everything a little bit duller. So I use this one to make it a bit more vibrant and stuff like that for you guys to enjoy. But that's it. Now, I think a cool thing that would be with this gun, besides being able to teleport up for air, is if we could grab other creatures like the warpers do, and then teleport them to different locations. So, like, for these guys, for example, like, maybe I wanted to warp a group of peepers at, like, a sea dragon or something like that, so it'll eat them instead. You know, if we could do that, that'd be kind of cool. Or maybe warp these floaters, you know, somewhere else. That'd be really cool, too, if we could utilize that kind of technology. But that's enough about the warp cannon. Oh. Yeah, see, like, it can do stuff like that, and you're not supposed to teleport into this place, because this is what happens. You could actually really exploit some things with this if you wanted to. This cannon could really exploit something. Damn, I think this could really mess with your games if you use it in the wrong situations. You could probably even teleport through the map if the map doesn't load completely. My God. And it is kind of expensive to make. But anyways, guys, let's move into something else. Now we move into the Arctic biome information within the Subnautica wiki. Everything is subject to change, and until you see it in the actual live game, assume none of this is gonna happen. That's the safe way to put it. Now, we're also covering more of the Arctic stuff because there was a couple posts that I wanted to reference right now for you guys to actually check out, because it's some really cool stuff, and I like the ideas that were posted. And by the way, we're back in the Arctic stuff for the simple fact that I love rubbing it into the faces of people that said I was doing it for the views, and I wasn't actually onto something when I originally said, hey, there could be an Arctic biome coming, you know, Arctic DLC. You Debbie Downers, you. So over on the Subnautica Discord, this was posted 6 days ago, the developers are obviously teasing us with the idea that the DLC, more or less, could be on the way. Now, as far as winter is coming, that's either one of two things. It's a meme or it's a reference towards the Arctic DLC, and that they want the next expansion, DLC, whatever you want to call it, to incorporate cold temperatures. Furthermore, supporting the Arctic biome as another DLC that's coming. Now, scrolling down, there's not really much that was posted. However, there was this one section right here that was posted 6 days ago that I really liked. And the idea for the biome expansion was in the middle of the huge, somewhat useless dunes, there should be the lily pad islands biome. It would be similar to the floating islands, except the islands have huge green roots connecting them. Some of the roots are connected to lily pads that float on the surface of the water. There would also be a larger version of ghost trees and one large island on top of a lily pad. This would have lots of tropical plants with some sort of new land fauna. The Arctic biome would be near the edge of the map, north of the life pod. It would have cold weather that would kill you without proper armor and ice punchers like rock punchers. Some of the islands are on the surface with some kind of penguin things. And the final suggestion is some caves in the safe shallows lead to a Twisty Bridges cave biome. It is located somewhat deep underwater from 75 to 400 meters and has large tentacles that spread through the caves that would be covered in barnacles. It would be a bit larger than the jelly shroom caves. It has one huge deadly octopus creature that camouflages as one of those tentacle rocks. It is slow but a deadly Leviathan species, although only one spawns at 325 to 400 meters inside the cave. It can grab any player and swallow him or her. Most likely her, because the female protagonist is what's going to be leading the DLC if the DLC continues on production and all that stuff. Which actually brings me to an idea. You guys know that they do this unique thing where if you go outside of the map, you are killed by the ghost leviathans. You are swarmed by them. Well, in the Arctic map, what could they do that would be really interesting to see? What could they do that would be different than just, oh, you can't go out here? What kind of creature could they add? What could they do to really bring something into the game that would be like, oh my god, don't go to the edge of the map like the ghost leviathan? Well, I mean, they could always, bring the leviathan we're working on with concept art back to life. That'd be kind of cool if somehow it survived in the frigid cold temperatures. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm really interested to know what your thoughts are on it, because I think there is a lot of potential for a really cool creature, and now they know the community loves the idea of creatures being at the edge of the map and just how horrifying that is to actually experience those. I just don't know how the storyline would work, or if the Karar would even be a thing. There was a reference of the giant eel-type Leviathan that is just a skeleton in the Lost River. They hope it guards the edge of the map. Yada, 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 basically. So that's more or less that. And then it was 1,200 to 1,500 meters in estimated length of the Gargantuan Leviathan. So yeah, that's this thing is gigantic. I don't know how they would put that into the game, now that I think about it. Oh well. So that brings us to 2 final points. 1, I may or may not have some leaked Arctic DLC content and some very exclusive stuff. And 2, I want to talk to you about the Seamoth. Now, we know from previous encounters with the game's lore, the Seamoth itself was a piece of equipment we could use to explore space, or an underwater exploration vehicle, which is what we currently use it as. However, it is stated in the lore that this thing could be used in space as a space vehicle. I don't know so much for flying around the planet, or like flying through the air and stuff like that, but I do want to make a reference to another content creator here on the platform that actually had access to a modification that allowed you to make the Seamoth fly. Somewhat, I guess, accurate to the lore, except, it'd have to be in space, really, but the idea is still there. You could make the Seamoth fly with this mod, and on top of it, if you wanted to, I believe you could make the Cyclops fly as well. I'll leave a link to his video in the comment section, not in the comment section, in the description, down below, and you guys can check that out for yourself, because it's kind of cool, and I don't actually have access to this mod, but it's one of those mods where, like, I think you guys would actually like it, so you should definitely check that out. Tell Awesome I said hi or something, and I also have one more piece of information that I can give you guys, and it's, oh man, this is so big, like, I can't fathom anyone not crapping their pants when they hear this. So, I have some footage of leaked content for the Arctic DLC. Like, it is straight up leaked. It is like, you can see everything that's going to be happening. And the thing about this is if I share it with you, I think the Subnautica devs might get really upset with me. And I don't know if I should share it with you, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play the clip right here, and then hopefully they won't ever find out about it, okay? So, here we go.